In this video we're going to take a look at the BMG guitar and ask, are you only supposed to play Queen songs and Brian May licks on this guitar? An interesting comment came in on one of my videos the other day from Matt Guitar. I'm just reading it behind the camera here. Can you do a more comprehensive BMG demo? Every demo on the Red Special on YouTube features virtually all Brian May licks only, usually exclusively through gear, trying to reproduce the authentic Brian May tone, and you don't get to hear its unique sound playing different things through different amps and effects, which is actually a very good point. And one of the quite common misconceptions is that this guitar can only be used if you want to be able to play Queen stuff. And granted, when you first try this guitar out, I remember in the shop in the Metro Centre in Gateshead in Windows, tried the guitar out, and the first thing you do was go. And you can't help it. I'm playing one version on a Brian May guitar, I can't believe it. Is generally the feel. But is it just a guitar for playing that kind of stuff on? One of the misconceptions about this guitar is that it's somehow mystical and different from any other guitar that's ever been made. It is a special guitar, before you all get upset for saying that it's not special. It is called special as well. But the unique thing about it is you obviously have the burn single coil trisonic pickups, which Brian May originally picked because he liked the look of them, and you would find them in Burns guitars because they were Burns pickups. So in the early 60s, Burns was quite popular. When people got into hard rock and stuff, they weren't particularly a brand that was popular, and that they didn't look very cool. So early 60s, people like Hank Marvin used Burns guitars. Brian May was the first guitarist to use Burns pickups. The unique thing is, mostly with this guitar, that makes them different from, say, a Stratocaster that has single coil pickups, is that you can turn all the pickups on or turn them all off or have them in whatever combination, and you do have the in and out of phase switches, which give you more tonal possibilities. If you don't know what any of that means, there's a video in the link in the description explaining about the pickup selector and the guide to that. It does have a cavity in the body which is hollow. It isn't a hollow body, but it's got a cavity which allows feedback in a different tone and stuff like that. So it is unique. But a lot of questions that you get sometimes on this channel were, how do you tune a Brian May guitar up? So it was just like any other guitar. Sometimes can you rewrite the guitar tab? Because I haven't got a BMG guitar, I've only got a Stratocaster. I can redo the video for people without the BMG, and it's a bit of an unusual request, but it's because they think that somehow it's this mystical extra special guitar. It doesn't come with built-in harmonies. It doesn't come with built-in delay that's going to make you sound like Brian Rock. If you buy this guitar and plug it into a practice amp, you're not going to sound immediately like Brian May. The guitar is just one link in a whole chain that makes you sound like Brian May, which a lot of people forget. If it was so easy to sound like Brian May and all you had to do was buy this guitar, there wouldn't be so many YouTube videos and blog articles explaining how to get the unique sound, because it is one link in the chain. You've got the guitar, you've got the treble booster, you've got 3 Vox AC30s that are modded, and that's just like scratching the surface. Then it comes down to how you play, how you pick the string, or he uses a sixpence. You've got all these different factors on actually how to play like Brian May, how to sound like that. And it is a shame that the guitar does tend to just get thought of as you could only possibly use it for playing Queen stuff. So we're going to I've waffled on for nearly 5 minutes now, so we're going to kind of look at what the actual guitar sounds like. Now my setup here is I'm playing through a bunch of effects. I'm going through actually the Brian May Vox amp, but I've got on this clean setting. and I've gone through the headphone out and going to the hi-fi, so it's coming through, and I'm trying to get as neutral as you can. I've got a bit of reverb on, I've got a bit of delay on, and a little bit of chorus. Straight away there, that sounds nothing like Queen. It sounds very much like Hank Marvin. The beauty is I've got these two pickups on both in phase. If I knock one out of phase by putting that switch up, I get a much thinner sound. It's beautiful. So that's the beauty, the fact that you can turn all three of them on, have them all in phase. Turn that off. Now, obviously I've got a bit, I turn the reverb off in the chorus, I've got a bit delay. Got a nice clean twangy sound, and if I lock it out of phase, and that's the beauty of the guitar, that you actually do have them tonal possibilities. So put a bit of reverb back on, a bit of chorus. Now I'm using a metal pedal here, and I want to go switch between, I've got a metal pedal set up and an overdrive, and it really shows that depending on what effects you're using with it are going to bear hugely on the sound. I'm not using a treble booster or anything like that, so I'll put the metal pedal on. I don't think you're allowed to play that anymore. But with the metal pedal, and that's with them two in phase, if I knock that out, it goes a bit thinner. And you can hear that when I'm in phase, it's a lot thicker. And with the metal pedal on, so you can get that like Joe Satriani type thing. And I mean, I haven't got the metal pedal on a great deal. I can take it, but the so you can get all of them type of sounds with this guitar. Now if I switch that off and go overdrive, now if I go these two out of phase, you're still getting that nice clear sound. But I always think you can get that kind of now in fizz. I could play around with the tone settings on the amp and on the effects, but it shows you depending on what you're using is going to have a huge effect on what you're going to sound like, and that kind of stuff sounds really good on this guitar. One thing to keep in mind as well, when Brian May was originally going to play the solo from Crazy Little Thing Called Love, he said that he wanted a Telecaster sound and that he felt he could get that out of the Red Special. And the producer Max said, well, why don't you just use a Telecaster? But you could have gotten a very similar sound with the Brian May guitar. The beauty is if you turn all the pickups on, you get a very thick sound, and that's just using a little bit of overdrive. But with them two on, you get a lot of great classic rock sound. Out of phase. But if we go just clean, so let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and as always, thank you for watching.